Hey guys, finally going to do a walk around video of our 1984 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ60. We're going to check out the interior, exterior, the engine bay, some modifications, and how it feels to drive this 40-year-old vehicle. Next on Mission Off Road. Hey there, I finally want to do a walk around on our 84 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ60. It's been a long time coming. We've had this in the family for, I'm guessing, 25 years. As you can see, I've been accessorizing it. Nothing too crazy. I also don't intend to do anything wild with it. But let's do a walk around on this 1984 Toyota Land Cruiser. It's brown, as you can see. It's quite faded now. It's lost a lot of luster in the paint, but once in a while I do give it a nice glaze and it comes out really good. I am not a Land Cruiser purist, so you're not going to see a lot of OEM original parts on this Land Cruiser. So let's start with the wheels. The wheels are from a Land Cruiser 80 series, but due to the offset and the axle width of the 60, I have to use 1.5-inch spacers to get the tires and wheels flush with the body. The tires I have are BF Goodrich KO2s, 265/75 R16s. I used to have 285s on this, but it was such a drag to drive and steer. Downsizing to 265 made it easier to drive. I wanted to try cookie cutters, but just based on time and budget, I opted to just go for these 265s because I got a decent price on them, brand new. Now, I'm not fully sure what the suspension is on this vehicle. I've been told these shocks are OME, Old Man Emu, very possible due to its color. And I believe my brother-in-law did upgrade the shackles on the leaf springs. The leaf springs also have a stamp from Spectre Off-Road, so there should be a lift on this vehicle. By how much, I'm not sure. But for suspension-wise, what I want to do is ultimately, I would like to upgrade the leaves, probably just in the rear, or put an airbag, because whenever I pack this vehicle, it's sagging in the back, basically. These are not rock sliders, they're just a step. And I don't intend to put rock sliders on this vehicle. I don't intend to do anything crazy or take it anywhere where I would require rock sliders. Now I have a 270-degree awning on this Land Cruiser from Body Armor 4x4, and rooftop tent on this is an FSR Aspen Light XL. The XL is a little bit wider than their regular Aspen, and the reason I got it is because I thought I would be sharing the tent with my wife or my son on an occasional trip. But the more I think about it, I should have just bought regular size Aspen Light, because it doesn't look like I will be sharing space with anyone on this rooftop tent. So as you can see, there's somewhat of an overhang, partly because awning is taking up space. I currently have 255,000 miles on this vehicle. It is a four-speed manual. I installed a Kenwood stereo with some basic Kenwood speakers. Again, I did not go for an OEM look or try to find OEM parts. This is a dash cap. The dash is quite crumbled underneath, so this works out for me. It looks really good. I'm fortunate not to have torn up seats, although this right here is about to tear. If you have any advice on how to keep these seats in better shape, please mention it in the comments. I would appreciate it. The choke wire is already torn up, so this is actually not doing anything. And this fuse cover is on its last leg. It's about to fall apart and crack. Hopefully I could come up with a 3D printed version of this, or someone else may have already. That would be pretty cool. Here's the back seat. Here's a tent that I will be using for this camping trip. My son will be in the rooftop tent. And here is my solar generator. There's the ladder for the rooftop tent. And here is a rear storage work in progress that I have going on. I'll show you right now. So the back of the FJ60 is extremely spacious, possibly the most spacious out of all of my vehicles. So again, this is a work in progress rear storage cabinet. A lot of people build storage cabinets with wings or ways to cover these sides, but I prefer to keep them open because look at how much space and the variety of things I could put here. I have back here, I have mattress pads, pillow, front runner, folding chairs, Rotopacks water, and here I have 2 tables and a pop-up tent for bathroom use. I just discovered that I could put front runner bins here and do a ratchet strap, so this works out great. I may have to find 2 more, although these are older front runner wolf packs, but if I could find 2 more, it would work out really well side by side. Like maximize that space. I have this thing powering the fridge just for now because I haven't decided how I want to wire up the rear for a 12 volt. Again, that's all work in progress. My brother-in-law created these wood panels back here, which actually give me a lot of possibilities. I could cut those panels and put some 12 volt sockets, so that will come in handy. But for now, I'm just using this old rock pals to power this old winter fridge. I believe it's 45 quarts. I also created this fridge slide. So in this cabinet, I have a variety of not really recovery gear because, well, I would put recovery gear here, but we're just at a basic campsite, so I don't have a lot of recovery gear here. I have some camping gear like stakes and hammers here. I have a slide out table. This is not the type of wood I would use for this area, but again, this is work in progress, so I will be replacing this with a better wood and treat it for moisture. Probably the cap here as well, I'll be replacing it with solid wood and put something to protect it from moisture. This larger shelf has a lot of kitchen gear like propane and pots and pans. And so again, I dedicate this larger bin for kitchen gear. One thing I forgot to think about was the fact that my wife can barely reach into that bin, so I guess I'll be in charge of all the kitchen stuff for camp. Let me just demonstrate the fridge coming out. I don't know if you noticed, this fridge seems a bit smaller than the tray. It's only because I created this slide out for 2 fridges, this fridge and the larger fridge that I currently have at home, which I didn't bring, but I made accommodations in the dimensions to make sure I could put the 2 fridges here. So here's the original 2F engine. Again, I have about 60,000 miles on this vehicle. Again, I've had this vehicle for a long time, but I only started driving it in the past few years. It took some time for it to get to this point. And to be honest, it's best that you learn how to do a lot of things yourself. There are some times where this vehicle's been back and forth with certain mechanics and it was always in the shop, but that ended as soon as I told myself, you know what, I just got to start doing research on I Hate Mud and tackling some of the issues, and at that point things did get better. You're going to find a lot of broken plastics and missing caps. This is a California vehicle, so I still have all the EGR equipment or the emissions equipment installed. That carburetor's been rebuilt. That wasn't always easy. I didn't rebuild it, but whoever rebuilt it didn't always do a good job, unfortunately. I installed the mechanical fuel pump myself. I installed the alternator myself. It's a very simple engine aside from the carburetor and all the vacuum related stuff. You take that all away, it's relatively simple. Now when it comes to driving the FJ60, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's very slow. At least mine struggles to get to highway speeds. It was worse when I had 285 size tires, but when I got to when I lowered it to 265 size tires, it was much more manageable in terms of steering and speed. Due to the feedback I'm getting from the vehicle, it seems like I'm going fast, but I'm really not. So I really have to pay close attention, and I always stay in the slow lane whenever possible. It's just not a fast vehicle. A lot of people are able to do their LS swaps, but in California, that's not the easiest thing to do unless you know the right shop or have the right amount of funds. And a lot of people do the 5 speed transmission swap, but that is not as easy to do on this version of the FJ60. I believe the early versions up until 1984, the 5 speed transmission is not plug and play. You need to do extra work to get a 5 speed transmission in this version or in this year of the FJ60. If you have the later model of the FJ60, you can easily get that 5 speed installed. Unfortunately, I cannot do that. Now, when it comes to driving off road, I love driving this vehicle off road. I was zooming through the desert, and with a 4 speed transmission, it was just amazing. It was just, I mean, it's on leaf springs. I was really enjoying it. I can't wait to do it again. I know for a fact solid front axle can do better off road, or trying to crawl up some obstacles on dirt. So I will always prefer solid front axle over my independent front suspension when it comes to driving on dirt, or at least I do not know a major difference. I do not complain about any comfort issues. I It's just such a fun vehicle to drive off-road. I will be doing several walkthrough videos of my other 4x4s, including my friends. So hit that subscribe button to make sure you don't miss out. And if you have any questions on this Land Cruiser, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.